Hello friends, Tanya here for Trinity Stamps, and today we are going to play with some ice cream. We all scream for ice cream, don't you know that saying or that song? We're going to be using It's Sherbet Day. It's a coordinating stamp and die set with this ice cream cone shaped gnome, and we're also going to use the double scoop pattern paper pack. This is a 6x6 pattern paper pack with all kinds of ice creamy type things. We're also going to use some older dies. We've got these layering hearts, and you saw the tall heart trio, and I'm kind of planning how I want to do these. We're going to make 2 cards. I'm measuring these heart fallout pieces. We're going to use those. So we're going to trim down this cardstock to we need a 3.5 inch square, and we need 3 2.5 inch squares, and we can get all of that out of one 6x6 piece of cardstock, which is perfect. So we've got all of those trimmed down, and we're going to take our dies and we're going to die cut these shapes. I just frame up this heart, or the biggest heart, and then I'm going to lay each of these squares over the die so that none of the heart shows, and then we'll run it all through the die cut machine, and we'll have 4 gorgeous hearts. I really love the way this rainbow ice cream sheet turned out when I die cut them. Next, we're going to take the Catchin' Some Rays stencil. It's a layering stencil. And we're going to take these Distress inks in Squeezed Lemonade, Kitsch Flamingo, and Salvaged Patina, some of my favorite colors to create a rainbow. And I'm using the Distress inks so they are more vibrant. We're going to just layer these on. I could have gone using just one of these layers. And I have a piece of cardstock that is 8.5 by, I think, 6.5 inches. I cut it bigger than I need in the long run so that I can trim this down and get a panel that fits what I need. I also wanted the extra space to tape down our stencil. Just going to add our second layer, carefully lining that up, and these are going to add some finer lines on each side of the large rays, and I'm just going to lay down the colors in the same pattern. Always love a great rainbow. It never fails to create a beautiful project. And there is our rainbow rays to fit right behind that pretty heart. We're going to take some pixie spray and add some spatters of that. And then we're going to use one of the Modern Embossed A2 layers to die cut our beautiful rainbow. I decided I wanted some more rainbow, and we're going to add that to the inside of the card. As you can see, I have masked off one side of the inside of the card so I don't accidentally get ink where I don't want it. It's a simple, I just took a piece of painter's tape and put it on a piece of plain scratch paper and taped that over the whole thing. Now we're going to start layering things up. I'm going to add this to the card base. It's an A2 white heavyweight cardstock base. And I did add a layer of scrap cardstock behind that panel. I also added some extra cardstock behind the back of that heart. And here we have a colored vanilla cone gnome. I'm going to add an extra layer of cardstock behind him for a little bit of extra stability, because we're going to make this a action wobbler card. I love the action wobblers. They make this so much fun. I have this pack of 12 that I bought probably 2 or 3 years ago, and I still haven't made it all the way through, because clearly I don't make enough of these action wobbler cards. We'll just figure out exactly where we want this to be placed. You peel off the adhesive from one side and you stick it to the back of your image, and then you can peel the adhesive off the other side of the wobbler and you can stick it right onto your project, and it's a really good adhesive. I've never found the need to reinforce that adhesive with liquid glue. And you can see that fun wobble action there. And next we're going to take one of the sentiments from the stamp set. This is "You Make Life Sweet," and we're going to add that to the side of the heart there. Next we're going to pull out the Jellyfish Jewels Rhinestones. These are perfect rainbow colors. I love that they're this fun pastel and they match this rainbow sherbet perfectly. So much fun. I just added one of each of the 3 colors that are in the mix in the 3 different sizes in a couple of different spots. Love that. Actually, I think there's 4 colors. That's a really fun rhinestone mix. So that's card number 1. Card number 2, we're going to take this Slimline cover plate die and die cut it from some aqua cardstock. I honestly don't even know what color this really is or what company it came from, but it's a pretty aqua color. I'm layering 2 layers of scrap white cardstock behind it to get a little extra height, and that's just simply adding some glue to the back or to the front of each of these and layering them together. And that is the beauty of using a cover plate die for this kind of layering thing. It is super easy to do this. And then we're going to take a 3.5 by 8.5 inch Slimline card base. Whoop, sorry, I almost forgot. We're adding some spatters of pixie dust, liquid pixie dust, and spattering that all over the front. And this was mostly dry. I should have waited just a little bit longer, but I was trying to finish this video quickly while one of my grandsons was playing in the same room, and he wanted Grandma to do art with him. But that usually means him telling me what he wants me to do with his art supplies. So here we are adding the hearts that we cut out earlier as an inlay. And since we have a couple layers of extra cardstock, this adds some nice dimension to the card front. Next, we're going to take one of the gnomes that I colored from this ice cream cone gnome. It's actually called It's Sherbet Day. I love that. It's so cute and punny. I love a good punny saying. This one I colored as a chocolate cone. And I colored these a couple months ago, so I really don't even remember what colors I used for Copic markers. But I love that pop of red from the cherry he's holding. We're going to take another action wobbler and we're going to put that behind him. And I did struggle a little bit with figuring out where exactly I wanted this on the card because he's pretty big. He's a pretty big gnome. That's not a bad thing. I love it. He has a lot of impact. And I finally decided that I would be okay with covering most of the middle heart. Look at that action. I love it. And this time we're going to use a different sentiment. You're the coolest. I like that these sentiments will work for just about anything. They're very general. Next, I pull out my collection of the Jelly Drop hearts. And there's a whole rainbow of them. We're going to use Double Bubble, Lemon Drop Dream, and Hint of Mint to add some fun jewels to the front. These are just, there's, in each of these mixes, there's a cloudy frosted version and a crystal clear version with the hint of color, pink, yellow, and green. And they look fantastic, again, with this double scoop paper. Next, I wanted some little hearts to put on the inside of the card. I had some scraps of that cardstock that I could use, and I found some little tiny hearts. This is the Falling for You stamp and die set that came out last year maybe, and I die cut those from that fun ice cream cardstock, and we're going to add those to the inside of the card. They have coordinating stamps, and we're going to pull those out too, just using my Barely Art precision glue and my pickup stick here to help add those to the inside of the card. And then we're going to take these little hearts, there's 3 of them, and I could have actually stamped them on that cardstock and heat emboss them. That might have been fun with some white or black or gold. That would have been really pretty too. So we're going to take the same inks that we used to ink blend our rainbow on the front of the first card, and we're going to add those to the inside of the card here with just some scattering of extra hearts. This didn't turn out as well as I would have liked, but I think it's good enough. Sometimes we have to settle for good enough. Here are my 2 cards. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, now would be a great time to do that. If you're interested in any of the products that I use today, check that description box below. And until next time, here are a couple more videos I thought you might enjoy. Bye-bye.